Welcome to Fixing Assets, and the next in the series about the broken gearbox. Now, you saw this last time. This is what the gearbox was like on the inside. There's a lot of teeth missing, so we decided, should we rebuild this one? And it turned out it was actually quite bad, and I've had another box that's been broken in storage. Now if we look at this box, as you can see, it is an awful lot cleaner. There's an awful lot more teeth on the cogs. So why is there a problem with this box? Why don't I just throw it in? Well, it jumps out of gear, and as you can see, those gears there slide up and down. There's a missing brass washer type thing missing, so we need to get new ones of those. Here's another look at the broken gears. Once they're out of the box, you can see there's not many teeth left on that cog, and on the lay gear, on the lay shaft, there's also missing teeth as well. I wouldn't dare use anything out of that gearbox, so we decided to put a new brass washer on, replace all the bearings and anything that could be subject to wear, purely to get the gearbox rebuilt. So anyway, first job of putting it back in before the footage goes missing anyway, we put the we'll put the new release bearing on. Now this is obviously done in real speed, a little bit of lubrication to ease the swivel. Fortunately we're using the clips because the new kit didn't come with them, so we're then putting the arm into the replacement gearbox, lubing up the swivel there. So the next thing to do, take the old clutch off. So the old clutch is now being removed. Again, this is in real time, no speeding up happened here. It's nearly done, and that, as we discussed last time, you can see that point where the release bearing hits the clutch plate, there's a spring come loose, so we'll want to perhaps replace it with something better. So anyway, here's the new one going on. Now the footage goes missing after this. I'm not sure why, but as you can see, we've got the alignment tool in, we're putting bolts in, and then, long story short, we reassembled it, got it all back together, tried to move the car forward, wouldn't work. So took the engine out, and this is what the clutch plate looked like after I took it out. It had disintegrated. Now, having spoken to a lot of Morris Minor people, this has happened to them, and to be perfectly blunt, these parts should come functional and shouldn't do this. Okay, so I've got the clutch positioned, ready to tighten up. I've got 3 bolts in, that's central. So I think we can tighten it up. Okay, so clutch is on, tightened up. It's ready to go back in. I haven't tried to nip up bits at the back of the sump. I've got a feeling I'm going to have to do the gaskets on that at some point, which I think I would theoretically be able to do, although as a struggle,
under the car. We've even cleaned the engine bay up a bit. It's not as tight as it was when I got the car, but that's because I painted it. And obviously if you're going to use a car, it's going to go a bit, yeah. So anyway, let's put that. Okay, so that appears to be in. There's obviously a lot of stuff to do. The gearbox, there's still a lot of bolts on the gearbox to put in, but the front struts are there. The gearbox is tight against the engine. I'm going for sit down. Okay, I've got a lot of it back together now. The car won't start because I haven't done something or other. But as a proof of concept, I'm going to do this. Foot on the clutch, first gear. So you see, it when I lifted my foot off the clutch, it did move, which means we've got it working. Probably do need to adjust the clutch, like. Also, foot on clutch, move the car backwards. So yeah, I'd say that's working. So yeah, you can see that I'm actually out in it now, and the seat's still there. We've still only got one front seat at the minute. Number 2 will be, this is it. It will be fitted this weekend. I'm just seeing if there's any issues arises. The only issue I've had so far, apart from blowing up the tyres, is that I had the temperature sender on the pressure sender and the pressure sender on the temperature sender. But apart from that, it's been quite canny. The temperatures, it's up to temperature. It's not leaking coolant yet. Touch wood. Perfect car to touch wood in. The temperature's sat quite happily. I'm going to drive it around a little bit more, see if anything pops up. After driving it around locally for a good bit, I took it to the motorist for the Furious Driving Social at the end of April. This was a very good long test, and it gave me a bit more confidence that the car was actually going to be somewhat capable of the road trip that I have planned for it. So the next videos are going to be
preparation for the road trip, which is fairly it's fairly mundane compared to changing a bloody gearbox. And then I'm hopefully going to do a short series on the road trip. So subscribe to Fixing Assets for more Morris Minor shenanigans.